Hello everybody, welcome to Weekly Market News. My name is Stepan and today is 19th of October and we have less than 2 weeks until the presidential election in United States, and markets are being quite nervous, especially more nervous than the last week when we talk about big surge on technological stocks in United States and also on some stocks in Europe. Let's look at what was doing S&P 500 last week. We can see that we saw here quite big correction, which was about 2% from its high from Monday, and it was almost 3 sessions in the row in a negative in the red numbers, which later on turned into green. And overall, if we look at where we begin last week and where we ended the last week, which was it is almost like plus 0.5%. So not really a big gain for US stocks, and correction which was kind of expected if we look at the surge that was seen at the beginning of March. And also the surging cases of coronavirus across the Europe, and also the fiscal stimulus negotiations, which are not heading the right direction, is the concern for the investors. And it's no big surprise that we saw some correction here on US stocks as well. If we are going to speak about earnings, last week we had earnings of some major banks in United States. Overall, the earnings were quite mixed, but the main message from the earnings was the signal that this might be just a pause before some bad loans in portfolios of the banks might take effect and can drag down the overall sentiment in the financial sector in the United States. So this is a big problem for the financial sector. We will see how the other banks will report their earnings for third quarter, but this week also will be quite interesting. If you look at quickly at the DAX and other European indices, we can see steep decline here, which was mainly due to the effect of rising coronavirus cases across Europe. Like I said, Germany, Spain, France, United Kingdom, Czech Republic. Those are the countries that are being hit the most as right now and are having quite big problems with handling the virus. So you can see some restrictions coming in from governments, and we might be seeing some other restriction coming up in the coming weeks if the virus and surging of the cases is not some kind of contained. So we will probably see some nervous sentiment here to stay in the European markets. Like I said, the DAX was quite under pressure. Then we were able to see some correction here, which was kind of expected, because after this steep decline here, like here, also the steep surge, we can see correction in the other way, which happened here. Overall, the sentiment, like I said, fiscal stimulus negotiations are not going anywhere as right now. Nancy Pelosi has set the deadline for Tuesday, so it was 48 hours since the beginning of today, so Monday session. 48 hours until when Republicans can tell their stance and can finalize the agreement about the fiscal stimulus, which would additionally help the markets to get some gains. But also, this is a big question, big if, currently in the market, because Donald Trump has come back and turned again 180 degrees when he said that he is willing to accept bigger stimulus than Democratic Party is right now offering, which is about $2.2 billion, which is totally against the offers from Republican Party. So this is quite big news. We will see how this thing will play out. But currently, we do not have any fiscal stimulus right now on the table. and also we do not expect the fiscal stimulus anytime soon, unless there is some big agreement and consensus about the size of a bill. So that's what was happening on the financial markets, particularly on stocks. If we look at the earnings and what we can expect this week. So today, after close, we can expect IBM reports results from third quarter. The rest of the week should be mostly about technology. Netflix is not really the technology, but also Tesla is also not really the technology sector. But in today's sentiment, in today's market, we can consider these companies as a technological stocks because they are in the basket with Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and companies like this. On Thursday, we can expect Intel to report some earnings for third quarter. And we have also a bunch of other very important and interesting companies to report, like Coca-Cola, AT&T, Southwest, American Airlines. So you can see some airlines are coming up. Also, Snap, PG is set to report on Tuesday, and some other bunch of companies. The next week should be even more interesting, so we can expect that the markets will react to these news and will also react to the reports that these companies will reveal on the days given here in the report. If we are going to look at the economic calendar, maybe look at the Forex right now real quick. If we look at the Euro USD, it was under pressure a little bit, which was mainly due to the fact of risk of sentiment from the market. So US dollar was a little bit surging and pushed Euro USD to the level of 117, where it held for 2 sessions, and today we can see steep rise towards the 118 level. Again, we do not expect any big moves here in the terms of volatility above 118 or below 117. Everything will be mainly in direction of US dollar, how market will feel about the risk on the financial markets and overall sentiment and the markets, and the risk on will support the demand for US dollar and other risk of currencies. So Euro USD under pressure a little bit. GBP USD also was quite under pressure. We were looking for some significant news from EU summit, which was held on Thursday and Friday. Boris Johnson previously said that the Friday deadline, the Friday date was kind of a deadline for Brexit deal to get done. It wasn't able to get done. We did not see any big news. Again, there are still huge disagreements about some main questions, and we will probably have to wait few more weeks until there is some really deadline where let's call it even the horizon kind of, where when the market participants and also the negotiations teams from UK and EU will have no other choice than to come up with some sort of a deal which would help both economies in such a crucial time as right now, as we have a coronavirus surging and it affects both economies. Other Forex also interesting was Australian dollar, which was under pressure from, first of all, at the beginning of the year, from PBOC, so Central Bank of China, which reduced the requirement for cash for banks in order to short and speculate on depreciation of Chinese yuan. And this had its effect on the Australian dollar because both economies are very tightly connected, and also there were some news that the Chinese companies, Chinese government rejected the imports of some commodities from Australia. So again, another downwards pressure on Australian dollar, which was not performing very good the last week, and also the surging US dollar play its part as well. If you look at quickly crude oil, we can see that this is still around $40 a barrel. We do not expect any big news. Surging coronavirus cases has its effect on demand. Also, Libya is ramping up its production, which went from 300,000 barrels a day, from $0 a barrel to 300,000 barrels a day in just a few weeks, and the expectations are that the production of Libya will get to 1 million until the end of the year. So this is a big problem for OPEC, which will sit down this week and should discuss the production policy. It's kind of a problem because OPEC is expecting to ramp up its production and since the beginning of the next year. And when you have countries like Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, which are not very in line of the production cuts, and they will have to compensate those overproduction that they had previously, this might be a problem for OPEC, which wants to balance the market, wants to balance the price, wants to ramp up production. And right now you have surging coronavirus cases, surging restrictions from economies, and these things might have a significant impact on the price of oil. So this is basically what's happening in the markets in the last week and what we can expect in coming days. Let's look at some main, crucial macroeconomic news today. There is a speech of Fed Chairman Jeremy Powell. For the rest of the Monday, nothing very significant. We have some building permits from United States on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have Christine Lagarde speech in the morning, and then retail sales from Canada and other stocks, oil stock change from United States. Thursday should be again house market data from United States, especially existing home sales and initial jobless claims. And Friday should end the session again with some secondary data, not really important to the market. So this week really is not so rich for the macroeconomic news, so we will have to wait how the fiscal stimulus negotiations will play out, how this can affect the market. Also, like I said, earnings from major companies in the United States, Netflix, Tesla, PG, other are reporting this week, so we will have to look out for that. Stock markets should be interesting, and the Forex will be in direction of US dollar and the demand for US dollar. So this will be it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.